Okay. Yay!
Are we live?
We are. We're live.
Hey, I'm checking my boutique.
I know. Me too. Got to make sure.
Oh, yep.
Did it work? Did we do it? Technology.
We're good. We're 5 minutes late, but we are.
That's okay. Fashionably late. That's what I like to say. Yeah. When you walk into a room and you like just own the fact that you're like, yeah, whatever. I'm here.
Right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Let's introduce ourselves because we're streaming into both of our VIP groups. So we're in Jen's and then we're in Seisha's Boutique. So people don't know me. People don't know you. So Jen, you start.
Okay, I'll start. So my name is Jen Ewert, and I've been a stylist with Park Lane for 6.5 years. When I started, it was just a way for some side gig money, really to pay off my student loans. I had a 3-month-old and a 2.5-year-old at that point. I was working a full-time job. But really, it was just like, you know what? We've got to take care of these student loans. Like, I'm sick and tired of paying these every month. Like, I just want these out of here. So that was really my main goal in starting Park Lane. But I quickly found out the community that I was surrounded by and the fun I was having outweighed so much of just like, I'm making extra money. Like I was. And we paid off those loans. We bought and paid off a car, but I just was loving it in the process. So we'll fast forward quick, and I was able to walk away from that full-time job, and Park Lane is now my full-time income, and I'm so grateful that I get to work it around our kiddo schedule, who are now 6 and 9, and I've been married to my husband Trent for 11 years, and we just love doing life and being sporadic about the things that we do. And so I'm grateful for just the flexibility that Park Lane has afforded to us. We love to travel and love just doing fun things as a family too. So that's me. How about you? Introduce yourself to my group. Say hello.
Hey everybody. I am Seisha. We're both senior divisions with Park Lane. So my story is a little bit different. I actually was introduced to the whole direct selling jewelry thing way back 16 years ago.
How? Like you're so young that you had to have been 16 when you started.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, 16 years ago, back then, I was not married. I was working 3 jobs, 1 full-time, 2 part-time. I owned a townhouse on my own, and I was super stressed out, and I did not wear any jewelry whatsoever. None. A huge tomboy. I am such a huge tomboy. And you know what? My girlfriend invited me to a jewelry party, and I was like, you have wine? She's like, yeah, I'll have wine. Okay. Seriously. I showed up late. I was the late girl. Because I wasn't motivated to look at the jewelry or anything like that, because I'm like, I'm not really into jewelry. But I had a glass of wine, I fell in love with a ring, and had my own party. Chick did my party, and she wrote, I just made $300 at your house. And I'm like, slow down. Heels in the sand. Like, what?
Yeah.
And I said, well, okay, you need to tell me more about that. Because now I was like, oh, I really like this jewelry. And so because I was baffled. Like, she hung out with me. She ate my food, drank my wine, showed jewelry, and people were even buying way before she even came to my house. And, this is back when we did a lot of in-home stuff. And she made $300 and it was legal. It's like, okay. You know, right? So I was that dream person where they're like, sign me up. And so, so I got signed into the business, and that company I was with closed down, and Park Lane found me. And I will say this, throughout the 16 years, I was able to just leave those jobs. So I left my full-time gig because my husband wanted to start a family. So then eventually, so I started when I was single, dating, been through this when I got married, been through this before I had kids, and then I started having more kids, and then I was able to just leave the jobs. And, this business was truly a blessing. because within my 16 years, my dad was diagnosed with cancer in like 2012. And later that year, so was my mom. And I was actually like 8 months pregnant with my son when my dad was diagnosed. And then my mom was diagnosed later that year. So there was one point in 2013 where I had to be the one to take my dad to all his chemo because my mom was doing radiation. And there was no way I would have been able to work any other job. I was so blessed to have the opportunity to schedule when I could work, to be able to work in the family, the much needed family time that I had to do, and I did lose my dad in 2020. And even when we were going through all the, like, I'm not trying to get all sad on everybody, but like when we were going through all the medical things the last summer that we were able to spend with my dad, I was able to go to Hawaii with my dad for the last time. And we have family heritage back there. So like able to do so many things in early 2020 before the world shut down. We'll just put it that way. And spend time and then be with him by his side until the very end and not have to worry about answering to that CEO or not having to worry about putting in like I'm going to need some leave time.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do any of that. And I could work my business as I wanted to. And I was grateful for actually the distraction during all of that. Really grateful. My hostesses were like, I can't believe that we just closed my party last night when everything. I'm like, you know what? I needed it. And my dad was a workaholic and he would have wanted me to close that party.
Yeah.
Like, so don't worry about it. It's okay.
There's a couple things real quick before you finish
Yeah.
your story that I just want to like touch on, that like life happens and there are hard things that happen. I want you to kind of touch on like what that looks like here at Park Lane if you do need to like take a moment to breathe, when you need to take a moment to attend to family emergency. Like, can you just touch on that and how that kind of played out for you? Because I think
like for example, like we had some emergency hospital visits that I had to just up and leave. Oh, sorry, my light automatically turns off and on, so that's why I do that. And it's just real nice to know the comfort of like there's no such thing as a jewelry emergency. I can get back to these messages later. And or we have a huge support system within Park Lane, within the Grace and Grit organization, where if I needed something, I definitely can lean on others to help me out at that time of need. So it's really amazing how life can happen and it's going to be okay. And you're always going to have Park Lane to go back on. Yeah.
And what about like losing your title? Like, can you touch on that? Like, let's say that you needed to step away for a couple of weeks or months or whatever.
So so y'all heard I was with a different company, right? I was with a different company for 7.5 years or something like that. And I never moved past a certain point because I knew the moment we moved past, we would fall right back down the very next month. So like promoting up in that company, it wasn't ideal because I knew I couldn't do the maintenance, or my team wasn't able to do the maintenance, or like if life happened for my team and all of a sudden we're not pulling in what we could have, like we would be demoted. And that was one thing when I met with Scott, because I'm a direct appoint. So if you're watching this and you hold a leadership level in a different company, we do direct appoints. I'm one of them. And when he was talking to me, he's like, you had so many years, you had all these recruits, you had this, you had that. Why didn't you go up farther? And I told him flat out, like, I would get demoted. It would be like, like, yay. And then like, adding in the sound effects. It just would have sucked.
Right.
And so he saw that, he recognized that. And when I came in, he put me at the level that I deserved. And that was huge. And that way life can happen. You don't get demoted in the Park Lane world. Absolutely not. So Jen, You, my dear, started as a fashion director,
Yeah.
and she started at the bottom level, which I hate to say even bottom because like, oh my gosh, our fashion stylist, you earn 30% off of your sales. So like you worked your way up.
Mhm.
And how confident were you working your way up, knowing that life could happen?
Totally. Like I didn't have any kind of experience in this space like whatsoever. Not salesperson, like nothing. That was not my background at all. And so just the support and knowing that I started, like you said, I started as a fashion director, 30%, and just continued to grow and to learn more, not only about Park Lane, but also about myself and different, just like awesome, just self confidence that I was able to gain from the experience that I was getting. And then I was like, oh, like I can invite friends and I can help, others to achieve their goals here also. And so
Right.
it just has been such a great experience to have that support system. You talked about that from that aspect, but also the support system of knowing you have like hundreds of cheerleaders behind you wanting to see your success every single day, because everybody has the same opportunities for success and no one's fighting, like in corporate America, like there's only one person that can get an opening of a position, right? That's not the case here. Anybody can promote, anybody can go for the same next steps. In fact,
Hmm.
funny that I should say that, that's, Seisha and I have just really helped each other to continue to move and to grow up because we are working on the same similar goals. And so it's so cool that we can champion for each other, and not have to worry like, oh no, she's gonna get it and I'm
Yeah.
not. So like that's
Right.
just so I really appreciate that
Right. And I
as
love
well.
the fact that, you can really actually give yourself your own promotion.
Yeah.
Like even if fashion stylists want to sell so much, you get your automatic promotion. Like,
Mhm.
and you get to keep that number. So like if life
Yeah.
happens and you have to take a month off, guess what? You
Yeah.
get to come right back in where you left, which
Yep.
is 100% amazing.
And
So
no
yeah,
quotas along with that, right? Like no demotions and no quotas. Like they go hand
yeah,
in hand, which I think is incredible.
right.
Um,
Absolutely.
well, can we
Absolutely.
like talk about the fact that we get to travel in a
I know.
couple of weeks? Can we
Oh,
turn
I'm so
the
excited.
tables for a moment and can we talk travel? And if anybody has like, what is your favorite travel tip? Tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
Seisha has a longer airplane ride than I do. Seisha, where are you from? For those that
So
don't know.
yeah, so I live in the Twin Cities area, south of Minneapolis, St. Paul in Minnesota. So I'm in the cold weather right now. Don't tell me how warm it is where you are
It's
because
actually
it was
not
okay.
warm
Well, it was
right now,
negative something today.
but okay,
So
yeah, no, I still can't complain.
anything's better than that. So yeah, so I have a longer plane ride.
Yes.
However,
So give us your travel tips, your plane tips. What do you pack? What are your go-to airplane snacks? Tell us that.
ooh, that's a great question.
What's your like, I need to go to the store and I need to make sure I have this in my bag.
I always like to have like some kind of protein bar. I don't know.
See?
I know. Well, they're not always that healthy now, just to be honest. Like they're not always that healthy. But I gotta have some kind of like gummy sweet. I like, something that's gummy. I'm a gummy
Yes.
bear kind of girl.
Okay. Our favorite right now have been the nerd clusters. Have you had
Ooh,
those?
yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
That's
may or may
all
not have stole them out of my kids' Halloween candy.
uh-huh. Yes, and Swedish fish. Those are our two like sweet, like if we're traveling, those are our like guilty
Yeah.
pleasures.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anybody's watching these lives, even if it's on the replay, do hashtag live, hashtag replay. The more you talk on these lives, you guys, this helps out the algorithm and the pages that we're on and all those things. And we want to know, seriously,
Yeah.
what is your travel hack? One of my travel hacks that Craig taught me, because Craig was quite when we got married, he traveled the world, he's, and not destinations like resorts, things like that. It was all sorts of crazy places, but he packs in these zipper cubes.
Oh yes.
Even back like
when
I
they
said,
weren't like popular.
when they weren't popular, he was
Okay.
packing in these things. I'm like, what are these things? These are amazing. And I especially love them because, like, when you're nearing the end of your vacation, you can have one only for dirty clothes.
Yes.
So, like, unpacking, it's like you unzip and you just throw it right in the laundry basket.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that's one of my, and plus, like, if your suitcase is the one that breaks open on the way out of the plane and is rolling around, and if you've got clothes flying everywhere, those no good.
Yeah.
Get the zipper things.
Totally. That would definitely be high up there for me. My other new one is on Amazon. I got one of the, like, it's a keychain size it's an Apple Watch charger, and it's just enough for the watch to go on there, right? The little magnetic thing. And because gosh, it's so like all the chargers like put me over the edge, right? You need your phone charger, and you need to make sure that you have, I mean, the same one goes for your AirPods, but like just all the chargers. And I love that that one was just nice and compact, and it wasn't a separate cord. I could put that in my airplane bag. And
I like it. I think I saw you do a TikTok on that. I was
I
like,
did.
ooh, I think I need to buy it.
You do
TikTok
need
made me
that.
buy it.
Yes. So anyways, we're going to Kona.
We're going to Kona, Hawaii.
And we're bringing our husbands.
Yeah.
For
free.
free.
We get to take them out on an extravagant Valentine's dinner.
I know, they're really gonna have to do something great because we're, taking them on this vacation and providing dinner for them.
I know, we're really doing it all for Valentine's Day.
I know.
Goodness sakes.
When is your birthday?
My birthday's in March.
Oh, okay. See, so he could, make up for it in March.
He could. I make my kids celebrate all month long.
Neat. That's what we do too. Well, we say that you get to celebrate from the 1st all the way until your birthday. My birthday is on the 29th. My daughter's is on the 20th, and my son's is on the 23rd, but my husband's is on the 1st. So we always do a family vote if he can celebrate longer than that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mention I do have 3 children. We have a 10, 8, and 7-year-old. They're all 20 months apart from each other.
Impressive.
So yeah, so if you think back, like I started doing this before I had children. So I was doing this when I had all 3 kids. At one point they were all in diapers at the same time. And yeah, potty train, we don't need to go there, but anyways, yeah, it's amazing to see how I'm going to go back to the travel thing, but it's amazing to see how this business has really fit into every aspect of my life. Mm-hmm. So wherever you are sitting at, maybe you're sitting at home with the kids, you're like, there's no way. There is a way. If you say there's no way, yeah, you're right.
Right.
It's really a mindset thing. But like with multiple jobs, I pulled it off. With kids and babies, I pulled it off. Now they're all in school. We pulled it off with COVID too. And oh my gosh, thank goodness we had this when COVID hit. Like seriously. And we were still earning trips when COVID hit, by the way. Some of them, obviously, they needed to cancel and things, but
we got the cash for those.
We got the cash for those. But yeah, I'm just super stoked to be able to go to Hawaii for free, to Kona, Hawaii, out of all places. And fun fact, my dad grew up in Waikiki. Yeah, so he's a pastor's kid. We have, like I said, some family heritage in Hawaii. And when my son was born, and his birthmark is in the shape of the state of Hawaii. So,
gosh,
I know, isn't that like, okay, yeah.
That's
imprint
cool.
of my dad. That's what I say. But Hawaii is this very special place. I'm just really excited that we get to explore a new area of it. and all that. And Jen and I in September, we went to Aruba.
Yeah. You see my picture? There's my picture. Here it is.
Yeah, right there.
Both of us were up there.
Which is amazing as well. Like,
yeah.
I've never been to Aruba. My husband never been to Aruba. He's like, we get to go to Aruba. And yeah. Like, that was incredible. That's where Jen and I really kind of bonded. We've seen each other on Zoom since she's out in California and I'm in Minnesota. But really, we really got to know each other just even through that.
And here's the other really cool part of that one is that was my first trip alone. Trent could not go because he's in education and that was at the start of school. So he could not make that happen. And so I traveled by myself, but I was not by myself, like at all. And that's the cool part about this is that you find your buddies and it's so much fun to travel. And it was never even like a hesitation, except for when I locked my room key in my room. That moment I was like, that's why I need my husband here, because I'm so irresponsible when it comes to details. So that was the only moment I was like, gosh, dang it. But all good.
But that was a brave moment for you to be able to travel with a passport
internationally
by yourself and all that stuff. That's a huge step.
Totally. And navigating the airports, not necessarily like the international travel, just the airports in and of themselves, like send me into this like, ah.
Yeah, I hear you. But don't you feel like, you've been able to grow as a person, grow in your leadership skills, grow in your confidence, and all of those things just because of Park Lane?
Oh, yes. Because Sam is saying here that like she wouldn't think that she'd be able to do that. And if you would have told me 3 years ago, you need to travel by yourself and you need to navigate the airport and this is what you're going to do in 3 years from now, I would have laughed at your face and I would have said, no, I just won't go. But like, I am like, no, like I can do this. I can do hard things. I can, I'm going to make myself proud on the other end. And I did it. And I am so proud of myself. And just learning that confidence has been a huge growth in the last 6 years that I've been able to measurably see. And I'm so grateful for that.
I have to say that, I loved my full-time position. It wasn't ideal though. Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact I would have never received the leadership training and increased the leadership skills or grown as a person if I still was in that full-time position. I wouldn't have gone there because you know what? I would have hit a ceiling.
Yep.
There would have been a point where it's like, okay, you can't go up any farther because maybe you need a master's degree or that next degree up, or you know what I mean?
There would have been on credits.
There would have been a ceiling I would have hit, and then it's like,
what now?
What now? So I really like that is a hidden perk, I think, to Park Lane that and to direct sales in general that I don't think people realize. It's so much more than just jewelry. So much more. So yeah.
Well, should we do some like tickets giveaway drawings?
Yeah.
All right. I'm thinking that if we do some questions, so if anybody asks a business related question, then you will get tickets into our drawings. So we're going to do drawings in both places. So you have chances in my style community and Astasia's Bling Boutique. So don't worry, you're going to get drawings. You're going to get tickets for whatever group you're in. But yeah, go ahead and ask any business related questions that you have or any, you could ask other questions too, but you're going to get tickets for
being nosy, tickets for asking the true business questions.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't have any on my side yet, so I'm not sure if anybody's on your
side. What is, this is a great question. how many, oh, I read that wrong. This is still good. How many parties do you do per month on average?
Great question. That varies, obviously. And you know, okay, so this is a glorious thing. So when I was working those other three jobs, remember when I started and
Yep.
I needed the extra cash, so I signed up to do jewelry. I truly could do like one party a week because I was so swamped with work.
Yeah.
Like, hello, three other jobs. And of course, those jobs didn't stop when I left them. There was always other things to do for them outside of the hours.
Yep.
So I looked at my calendar and I'm like, okay, I can work there. I can work this day. I can work this day. And you know what? The busier you are, the more attractive you are to people as well, by the way, hidden secret.
Yep.
But really the amount of in-person parties and online parties just absolutely varies. I always have a party open on my VIP community, and more. So yeah, I can't answer that question right now because seriously, sometimes it's two a week, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but like you got to remember this is my full-time job and this is Jen's full-time
Right.
job. So whatever it looks like for you, you can make it happen.
Yep.
So for example, we always say like, well, how much extra money do you want to make?
Yeah.
Do you want to make $100 a month?
Or how much free jewelry, right? How much free jewelry do you want to earn a month? Like there's different ways to approach whatever your goals are.
Absolutely.
And like we said in the beginning, like there's no quotas and no what was the other thing? No quotas and what were we talking about? I totally lost my train of thought. But there's no quota, so like you don't have to worry about doing X amount of parties just to stay active. So
yeah, no, not at all.
Good answer. Okay, next question is how many tries are there at Parkland? So let's say you tried once and maybe it didn't work out the way that you had anticipated. How many tries do you get at Parkland?
You can do this as many times as you would like, really.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really absolutely glorious because honestly, if you signed up and you said yes to the dress, that's what I always say, meaning jewelry. But it's $99 for our basic kit, which to me isn't basic. Because let's analyze this. Right now they're giving you an extra $200 in jewelry in that kit. So you don't get $500, you get $700 in that kit for $99, and you get a website fee. Get paid for within that cost. And that in itself is amazing because like if you think about other companies, most companies they charge you like maybe $12 a month, $15 a month to have a website, whereas Park Lane builds that website into your starter kit cost. Yep. $700 plus your website for a year for $99 plus tax. Incredible, right? So yeah, but you can if it doesn't work, you can start it up again later.
Yep.
So
or here's the other side of this. If you try it and you realize, you know what, this isn't for me, totally fine. You keep the jewelry, you keep the paychecks that you earned, and then you just turn those referrals that you get from when you're getting complimented back to the person that helped you get started. And that's that. Like there's no hard feelings. You can return to be the customer of whoever helped you get started, and there's zero hard feelings at all. So
yeah, and I had that question the other day too. Was like somebody was like, well, what's the repercussions if all of a sudden I want to cancel, I want to quit? There's not any. They're still going to pay you for the party that you just put in. They're still going to send you whatever free jewelry that you earned. You don't get your hand slapped. There's no like fee. There nothing. So really, it's honestly, in my opinion, it is a risk-free business.
Yep.
So.
All right, Samantha's asking, how long did it take for you to promote and then promote again? So when I started in an August, and then I was just kind of working along. And then I attended our convention back then it was in February. And it was at that point that I was like, oh, this is how that works. Okay. So I got home and I sponsored my first person and promoted to that first level. The very next month in March, I promoted to the next level. We always try to just continue you on that path of growth. Again, depending on what your goals are. That's something that I always want to make sure that, if you want that promotion, if you want to make more money, then we're going to help you to do that. If you're good with where you're at, then that's fine too. So
you're telling me, Jen, that if I signed on, you're not going to pressure me to recruit my 5 friends.
Nope. It's funny actually. So I have a gal that I've been working with, and she's joined last spring, early spring. And she told me, you know what, I just want to sell. That's just what I want to do. Great. No problem. Totally fine. A few weeks ago, she said, I just retired and I want this to work and I want to grow my business and I need some extra help. Today, we just celebrated her first promotion. And so that is really how it works. You say you want to grow, we're going to be there to help you grow and give you the tools that you need at that point.
Absolutely. I always tell my people, I'm not going to pressure you to do more than what you want to do. So we find out what your goals are and I just keep reminding you, okay, you want to make this much money a month? Okay, well, here's the track to do it. Exactly. So we're there to cheer you on. We're not here to pressure you and all that stuff. That's not how we roll.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay. How much jewelry do you keep on hand to do lives?
Great question. You really don't need much at all. And in fact, sometimes the more you have, the worse it is, because I don't know how much in-person parties people are looking at doing, but if you have too much there, people get overwhelmed and be like, okay, I gotta back away. You know how the gif where they're disappearing into the bush? It's just way so much. You just can't choose. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. But you really don't need a lot. No. There has been times, I don't know about you, Jen, where a new piece is dropped, and here's how I show it.
Oh yeah. Totally.
I show it from a picture on my phone if I don't have it. Yep. And it works. And then I start digging around on all of our pages that we have of people that have the jewelry. Oh my gosh, who has a picture? We're in the Atmosphere necklace. I need it. And you'll have it in a moment's notice. It's just amazing.
Would you say, so right now you're getting to choose $700 in your starter kit. Do you feel like that what you can choose, even at $500, that you're getting enough to do a party to be able to show?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think so too. Because that's the other thing is we'll provide you with some resources of here's some ideas of things that you could choose to help you make sure that you have some of the most popular pieces and things like that. So yeah, that's a great question.
That is a great question.
Okay. Do you lose your position if you have a month or 2 or more with no sales?
Nope. Nope. You do not get demoted at all. Nope. Isn't that amazing?
I know. It's so I feel like you want to say more and have explanation, but there's no explanation. No explanation. Just an exclamation.
Right. That fact right there should show everybody here how much heart this company has. How much heart. You see, there's a picture back here. Okay. My team put that together, and actually, I should get it from my wall. You guys, my team made this for me when my dad was passing, or actually as soon as he passed, one of my leaders on my team asked everybody in the picture, everybody on the team, to take a picture with a letter. And I want you to see something. Do you see that right there? Do you see that right there? Who's
Oh, I
that guy?
Chills. Oh my gosh.
Who is this guy?
That is our sweet CEO, Scott, and
That's
his
our sweet CEO, Scott.
granddaughter.
And this is the heart that is behind our company. This is the heart. And it's because they lead with heart, where like if crap happens, I want to use other words, but I won't. If it happens, they understand. They get it. They know. And they don't want you to all of a sudden have your business disaster and then you get demoted and all that stuff along with whatever else is happening. They don't want that. Not at all. They're going to lift you up as much as you possibly can. So the fact you do not get demoted if things happen, that should mean a lot. So it's the heart. They lead with heart.
That's sweet. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
You know, I don't see any on my side.
If you're just, I think there's a couple people that are just jumping on. We're just answering questions. If you have a question for us business related, then you're going to get tickets into drawing for, of course, a sparkly surprise.
Yeah.
So drop your questions in any way, shape, or form that you have, and we'll answer them. What do you look forward to? Oh, no.
I was going to put a little 2 cents in because nobody's asking this question yet because I don't know if they know they need to ask this question. Because it's kind of been an eye-opening experience for Jen and I, even the last couple of weeks. We've been doing some personal development and taking some trainings together, as well as some other people and other direct sale companies in the same trainings with us. And it was kind of an aha moment when we were on a coaching call. And we were on with a bunch of other people. And honestly, I don't know what all the companies they were with. But I was quickly realized that we have resources that other companies don't have. We have the professional graphics other companies don't have. We have parties ready to go, like graphics and things that you can run in the social media world that other companies don't have. It's just really amazing. And it made me realize how blessed we are with the team that we have.
Let's give that like a little background of like all our awesome group members in our groups see us post daily.
Yeah.
When you say what you just said, what does that mean for that daily information that you are posting? Let's give them a little behind the scenes, because you may think that we're really creative and you may think that we like have all these fancy words and things. Go ahead, tell them a secret.
We don't
tell them a secret.
Cat's out of the bag. Figure that out. But it's not really like we have amazing, talented people within our organization that pull together these amazing graphics with the words and all that, and we're able to use them. Yeah, and we don't have to pay for the graphics. Our amazing, our amazing leader, gratefully, like she employs this person. But I'm grateful for it because you know what? That frees me up to be able to run my kids to school. That frees me up to be able to work with my hostess rather than creating these graphics and these things that, it just frees us up. So we have all these resources and other companies don't. And it was really apparent when we were doing these coaching calls. So yeah, I just had to put that in there.
This is a great question, and Patty's saying that you kind of answered it already, but she says, what's the best way to promote the jewelry when you don't know much about it?
I look at the description in the Park Lane.
Yeah, it's true. You said in the beginning that you were not a jewelry wearer pre this industry. Okay, this is actually a great example. The Rue necklace is my very first Park Lane purchase was actually it was a square necklace, but it was very similar to this, and a matching pair of like the tiniest little studs. That was the extent of jewelry for me in general. I really didn't even know like how to style jewelry. I loved the idea of it, but like I didn't know how to style things and layer things and talk about fashion and like that was not who I was. I just didn't know. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
you
I
learn from watching other people. I 100% tell everybody go watch Seisha's video. She did a great job explaining the atmosphere necklace. Or, hey, I actually did a live today on the dandy necklace. Go watch that and just copy what I say and you go do it with your people, right? Like we
yeah.
just learn from each other and are so open and transparent about helping people learn.
Yeah.
And also, when you get started, your person that is helping you get started, they're going to do all of that for you
Yes.
as you start. Like,
Yes.
they're going to do your first couple, 2 or 3 parties with or for you so that you feel comfortable and you feel confident
Yeah.
in that process. So, really great question.
Yeah, I didn't wear any jewelry. Craig had bought me like a small cross necklace. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't wear jewelry, but all right, I'll wear that. When we were first dating and stuff. And my mom was, I mean, she was always disappointed. I was such a tomboy. I mean, I was the chick that had all the senior pictures in boys' clothes. Like, I went to college, my best friends were wrestlers, and they took me shopping and forced me to shop in the women's section. Like, I seriously adjusted it to that's how much of a tomboy I was. So, like, the fact I got into jewelry, my mom was like, yes.
I won.
She was so excited. Oh, she's finally becoming a girly girl, kind of wearing her jewelry and such. She was just so excited. I learned along the way. I did my first party on my own, and I did like a 20 question segment on my first party. And I went in there, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer any of these people's questions, but I did the best I could. And if I didn't know, I said, you know what? I'm going to look that up for you and I'm going to get back to you because there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah.
And then one of the last questions I got was this woman that said, oh, how long have you been doing this? And I said, an hour.
5 minutes.
And she's like, no, really. And the hostess giggled. She's like, no, this is her very first party. I BS'd my way through it and nobody knew. Like seriously.
Yeah.
It is okay. And people are welcome to like giving you and helping you out and getting your feet wet into the business. And I learned all my tricks from other people. I always tell people that too.
Yep. We borrow from others. Okay. Patty says, I'm so low-key jewelry wearer, but really loving these pieces. I just got my box and so impressed, thinking about selling too. So that's exciting.
Yay!
Nicole wants to know what necklace you're wearing.
I'm wearing the Atmosphere. It's got a little silver ring right here, and the rest is gold, but it does come in hematite with a little silver piece.
So
yeah.
Tell us about your arm party.
Oh, my arm party consists of reed, stretch, glow with that hematite base, and then I have bow. An oldie but a goodie. And then of course you can never let your watch be lonely. I don't think this one's available anymore, you guys, so don't fall in love with it. It's the studded that was available in the holiday line. But
you know what? I actually do have one, so maybe that'll be my giveaway.
I love this thing.
I know, it's so good.
Sure. But yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other top questions that I've been getting Nobody's posted. I think it's 8:49 my time. So, and I have a lot of East Coast people, so they might be already in bed, which is totally fine. If you guys are seeing this on the replay, though, still ask questions on the replay, and we'll respond as we see them come through. So, and honestly, I'm gonna give tickets if you respond before my next live the next day in my boutique. So,
Same.
um,
Same.
yeah. Any other questions?
What are you, while more questions might come, what are you most looking forward to about Kona?
Getting away from my children.
Trent and I say that too. To eat a meal and not have to get up from the table 12 times to get cups of water and picking up spills and, not having to answer 52 questions from the day. Like, listen, I love my kids. I
love my children.
But I also really love I always say I have to spend the rest of my life with my husband. I don't with my kids, so I'm gonna invest time there.
So my kids are 10, 8, and 7, and I don't know if your kids complain, but when I tell them, like, okay, now I'm working towards earning Paris and things, and my oldest is like, I don't understand why I can't go on these trips together. And honestly, this is a really good parenting talk. So I don't know where everybody's at, if you're watching and your kids are in college, or maybe they're young, or maybe they're super young. You need to invest time with your husband, right? And when you're in the thick of it, when you have kids the ages that we do, I don't know how much time you and Trent get together, but Craig and I don't get a lot of quality time together. So I work my butt off so I can provide 2 escapes a year.
Yes.
I mean, trips. 2 trips a year for us. That's all paid for. Because it's like, we need that. We need that for our marriage. We need that to just to survive, right?
Totally.
This is both something to look forward to. And so far, all the destinations I've taken Craig to, he hasn't been able to go yet. So it's like, yay, I'm knocking things off his bucket list too as we move along here. So we really need that time away. And I tell that to my 10-year-old. I said, your dad and I really need this vacation just for us. And I'm just so happy I'm able to provide that for us.
Yeah. So. We say the same thing. And also we tell them, you're not going to appreciate it. All we do is sit in pools and chat with other people. You're going to be so bored.
Yeah. And they don't have, or you can say they don't have chicken nuggets there, honey. You wouldn't like it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And we would never be able to afford these 5-star extravagant destinations as such a young family. It's not in the budget.
Right.
Okay, we have questions on. Oh, go ahead. We have a question
right here. Do you have, Sherry's asking, do you have many people that do this as a second job? Yes.
I did.
The majority of people on my team, this is a supplemental income. Like, this is an extra stream coming into their house. So I have one of my teammate who does a full-time gig, and she lives out in California, but she just does this part-time. And I'm going to tell you right now, last year she sold over $50,000, and her full-time job is like a 70-hour week job, one of those that she's on call all the time. And she still managed to sell that much last year together. So a lot of people do it as just an extra way to bring in a little extra cash a month. And the glorious thing is there's no rules on how you can do this. So if you just want to show a website, you show a website. Yeah.
Okay. How many Park Lane trips have we been on?
Ooh.
How many have you been on?
Park Lane trips? I went to Disney World. That was the very first trip. I actually earned 3 trips for that one. That was when I first signed into the company. So that right there should be a testimonial to people too. I signed up. Listen to that. Okay, this is funny. I signed up Super Bowl weekend.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
Super Bowl weekend, which is this week. Is it this weekend?
No, it's the weekend we're traveling.
Is it?
Traveling on Super Bowl Sunday. Nope, we have a week off, and then,
That's how much I pay attention. Anywho's, so I signed up Super Bowl weekend. I earned 3 trips to Disney World.
Okay.
Okay, that's the first trip I earned with Park Lane, and I ended up pregnant during the traveling time, which I'm so blessed with my third kid, but I was a little disappointed I get to go on the rides.
That is sad.
So it's good, but his hat, and I'd always wanted to go to Disney World, and here I earned it for free. So Disney World, and then Key West, Aruba, and now Hawaii, and then Cabo.
Yep. Yep.
Working our way towards Paris. So how about you, Jen?
Okay, I started in Switzerland. That was crazy. I would have never imagined that would be my first trip. That was over the top amazing. So Switzerland. Then I earned St. Martin. Then a Caribbean cruise. Then we earned Ireland and Bermuda. Both of those were cashed out. And then Key West, Aruba, Kona, Cabo, and now Paris is what we're working on next.
My gosh.
So that's, yeah.
Like we're world travelers here.
I mean, right? Like all of those vacations in 6 years.
Yeah. Okay, Jen, so when they announced that Paris was the next trip, what was your initial thought?
Okay, well, first of all, my daughter always watches those videos with me. Like, she wants to know too. And when they announced Paris, she was bawling hysterically because she wants to go to Paris. Like, like it was the whole thing. And so I'm like consoling her, and like also like, you know, my personal brain is like, like, oh my gosh, like this is a dream destination for sure, of something that I wouldn't plan. Like I wouldn't plan it for myself, and yet like, yeah, I want to go.
Right.
So yeah, it was twofold in that moment of the mom side and the me side.
So when it was announced, I opened up my office door. I'm like, Craig, get in here. And I pointed to my screen. He's like, holy crap, Paris? And then my son, you always get to go on vacations.
Exactly.
So it kind of similar, but not the bawling, just the complaining.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest, when we plan a vacation, it's typically all tropical, right? That at least that's when Craig and I go. Sometimes we go to tropical vacations that aren't like your sought after ones. We like to go to the oddball ones. But Paris, it's like I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd ever plan to go there. But wouldn't it be amazing? And now
here we go.
Holy moly.
And we just started earning this.
Yeah.
Like that.
Just started.
Like, I think I would like to try this and try to go to Paris. Like, it's doable. It's absolutely doable.
Like I said, I signed up Super Bowl weekend. I earned a trip to Disney World at that moment. As soon as I signed up, I had until May, and I earned a trip. So that's one thing that they make very well known to us, that these trips are achievable by literally anybody. It is not just the high level leaders that earn these trips at all. So, yeah.
The question is, can you take the money instead?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely. So remember I said I earned 3 trips to Disney World? I have 3 kids. There's no way I was going to pay for well, no, actually I was pregnant. So I had 2 other kids, and they would not have been fun to bring. I mean, yes, they would have been fun. Let me rephrase. But I didn't want to have to mess with a stroller, pregnant in Disney World, dealing with 2 nagging children. I wanted to enjoy my free trip. So I cashed out that 3rd trip, and we took the cash on to go.
Love it. Yep.
So, yeah.
How much do you have to sell to qualify for these trips? It's hard to like put a number on it, because it's not just you personally that is selling that helps you to earn. You're doing it as a group. So it's not necessarily like a dollar amount. That's
a hard question to ask.
Right?
I don't know how to explain it, because and honestly, right now in February they're offering us double trip points. And in January, they offered us triple trip points. So what does that tell you about the company? They obviously want people to earn Parish. They're making it very feasible for us to earn this trip because they offer triple points and now double points. And yeah, so it's just the more you share this business with others, the more you're going to work your way towards that trip.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Good questions. So,
absolutely.
all right. Well,
Anything else? I don't have any other questions on my end, but like I said, gosh, we went live for almost an hour.
I know. Oh no, you go. Listen, we all have things to say. We have things to
as
say.
you're catching this, do hashtag live, hashtag replay, comment, keep asking us questions. I'm going to keep my raffle open until tomorrow's live that I do for everybody. So I assume you would too, but
Totally. Yep.
yeah.
I was just going to end by saying this, like, if any of this is intriguing to you, I would just encourage you to just give it a try. Like we mentioned, like, there's nothing that you are going to lose by giving this a try. Especially, we've got the extra $200 in your kit that you're going to be able to choose in jewelry of your choice. And sitting on the fence is so uncomfortable when you're like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. Like, let us help you to give it a shot. Give it a shot. If 30 days from now you're like, Jen, Seisha, this isn't for me. Totally, totally fine. But that living in that, like, what if is it's so fun. Like, what if I did this? And what if I was successful in it? What if? What if I could make $300 this month?
Yeah.
What would you do with that? Think about it.
Exactly. And yeah, and with that said, even if you're on the fence, now's the time to schedule some kind of decider.
Yeah.
Like, just schedule a showing with one of us, and then determine as you go.
Yep.
Really, because the glorious thing about that is if you'd say, okay, yeah, let's do this. Guess what? Guess what happens? You earn the hostess benefits. You get your starter kit. And you're the one that's going to get paid.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So basically, whatever you do with the party that we're going to run for you, you're going to get paid for that. And honestly, it's more than likely going to pay for whatever you put out for your kit. Depending on, there are kit options. So there's lots of options you can choose. But more than likely, it's going to pay for that kit. So you're going to walk away with $700. By the way, that's limited edition until like the 8th.
Yeah.
So then extra 200 ends on the 8th. So you'll get $700 in jewelry, your hostess credit, a paycheck, test it out for 30 days. And then if it doesn't work, or test out for whatever time, like, okay, you walk away with a paycheck and jewelry.
Yep.
Do you hear my dog complaining?
I totally do. And I was going to be like, sweet Otis.
Sweet Otis wants attention right now.
Yeah.
So
Mom, you're done working. You're done, Mom.
Basically.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. This was so fun.
This was fun. Hey, got an idea, Jen?
Yeah. Tell me your idea.
How about we go live together when we're in Hawaii together at some point?
I love that idea. Yes. So maybe you would like to see us together in the same.
Yeah, we can be in the same screen.
Yeah.
Hugging each other. Oh my gosh.
Totally. And if you don't follow us on TikTok, go follow us on TikTok. Because when we're together, we're going to have to do some TikToks together. So make sure you go find us. Seisha's Boutique, Jen Ewert. Find us on Facebook. Yeah. And give us some love over there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow us on all the platforms. Yep. But yeah, thank you for joining us, and appreciate you guys hanging out and asking questions along the way. Yep. We'll continue to answer them as they come on. So
awesome.
All right, everybody.
See you later.
See you later.